All right, Grasshoppers, it is that time of the week again. He's back. He's still surviving down in Naples, Florida there after the hurricane hit down, Hurricane Ian. Again, fantastic human being here, Rich Gabberty. I think it's worth repeating because I repeat it all the time, so I must think it's worth repeating. We met each other coaching with the Westchester Mariners. What was that, like 15 years ago or something? Was that long ago?
Probably that was 2002.
Is that what it was? Wow.
Do the math. That's 20 years.
Yeah, 20 years. Wow.
I know.
A fantastic man who does a lot of coaching, but the most important thing was he helped a lot of young men and women with their lives while he was doing the coaching. So, Rich Gabberty, how are you?
Tom, I'm great, and I look forward to this. And it's funny because God is always throwing little curveballs in my life, and I forgot to shave. That's how busy I was this morning in a rush to get here.
Look good with the scrub. Looks sexy. I mean, women love that.
You know, I couldn't wait to see Diane. I saw Diane get out of the car. She's smiling. Tim, who owns the place, is in the house. I mean, it's really 239. The family's all here down in sunny Naples, Florida.
Partridge Family.
Yeah, the Partridge Family.
What? Remember the Partridge Family? Did you ever watch that show? Yes. I used to love that show.
Yes. With Kincaid, the manager, and exactly.
Driving around the bus with the little flowers on it.
Bus, yeah. But what the girl's name? Because we were at that age. The girl's name Susan Day, I think her name.
Susan Day. That's right. I saw her in a couple of movies. Yeah.
She was sharp.
Oh God, yeah. It's funny, right? I wonder if I watched that show now, if we'd really even enjoy it now. It's one of those things I loved it back then, but would we even?
I don't know. The one I want to see is the Jetsons. I've seen some of them because I think we talked about this earlier. Like George Jetson's birthday, he was born, I think, July of 2022. Look at Dory jumping into the fray here. Hi, Dory. Thank you.
Dory, you know I have the scruff going too. All right, could you at least comment on? Is it just his scruff or mine?
Well, I've done breath work with her. You have to do the breath work, Tom. I mean, come on.
So okay, before we get to the main topic here, I've done a lot of self-reflection on this topic about me having to do things, you know, and it first came out, we joked around about that. As long as it had to be my idea, which is somewhat accurate. Like I know, so it's my idea. I just pour my heart into it. It's interesting that I never would have thought about stuff like that in the past. So now it's self-reflection time.
Oh my God, let's do it.
So no, I did it. It's already done. You can't do my self-reflection.
I would assist you in it. Listen, it's always, do you do your own taxes? Do you do your own taxes?
No.
Okay. When you go to court, are you your own lawyer?
I could be.
Okay.
I don't go to court. I've never gone to court.
Okay. When you do contract negotiations or something like that.
I do my own contract negotiations. Agent for 22 years. So when I did my contract, 128 pages was Survivor.
Yes.
And they said to me, Tom, we know you're an agent, so you're going to tear this thing apart. I said, yes, I will. And it got to the point where the lawyer called me up. He was pretty funny at one point. He said, Tom, I can't go any farther. This is fun, but I can't go any farther. I guess nobody ever negotiates those contracts. And they've got some clauses in there like that. I'm sure you've seen that because you worked with a band before. What band did you work?
I forget. It's so long ago. Aerosmith. That's right. Yes.
They had a clause in there in the back. They stuck in the back that it said that the survivor will act as your agent for the next 2 years. I said, you're not acting as my agent. They put stuff like that in there.
Yeah, sure.
Everybody just wants to get on the show, so they're going to do whatever they want.
Yeah, exactly. Aerosmith had a 28-page rider. So when we did a tour, we would mail this out, send it out, you know, depending on what year it was technology-wise, and we would send it to the promoters. And it had things in there like you have to remove all the red M&Ms. We wanted M&Ms backstage. We had to remove all the red ones. And stuff like that was in there just to see if you were reading the rider.
Oh, right.
You know, just to break chops.
Right.
But Aerosmith is legendary for their riders. And
so what would happen? Would people actually, if they read the rider, would they actually remove the red M&Ms?
Absolutely.
Oh, sorry.
Absolutely.
Spam. Who's this potential spam guy?
You know what? He makes a lot of calls, though. Yeah, Holy Christ. What a pain in the ass. I'll tell you a real funny spam story very quickly. I'm trying to do a deal with somebody. I'm trying to help them out. Okay.
Listen, there's no such thing as very quickly with you. Okay.
All right. I'm going to try this. Okay.
Just
spam. All right. I'm waiting to hear from Stripe, which is a company that you could run credit cards on. Okay. You could charge people using the Stripe app. All right. So we keep putting in a question on the dashboard. All right. Call us back. It says call us back. They never call back. 22 times over the course of a month, we requested a phone call back. Right. Come to find out that the person's spam blocker on their cell phone was taking all of the Stripe return calls and marking them as spam, not even allowing it was such serious spam that they were blocking it even from ringing on their phone.
Oh, is that right?
And there's my, okay, that was pretty quick. All right, next.
Well, relatively. Yeah, it was good.
Next.
It was
Okay.
good.
Enough about me. How about me?
All right. So we had a little, I don't know what we call it. Something. We had a little something the other day, 2 days ago. Coming back from Costco. Costco is one of my favorite places in the world. I was in a good mood. Come to a four-way stop. I stop. The two of us are getting there somewhat at the same time. There's another car to my left. But I was clearly getting there early. But it was, to their credit, it was some kind of commercial vehicle, like a flower shop or something. They were delivering flowers. So I'm assuming they didn't care about the rules. They just needed to get the flowers done. So they rolled through the stop sign. Of course, I can't let that happen, right? I have to step in. So I go to get in front of them. They did not care. They went right around me. And then I was going to change this guy's life. I made a decision. I was going to educate him that he should not do this. I gave him the evil 1,000-yard stare, right? Staring him down. I'm sure his life is just like, he's probably never going to be the same now after that. So obviously, while I'm giving him the stare, I'm not paying attention to the roadway, and I run into the curb.
Oh,
no big deal. I've run into the curb before. Not that big.
Oh, sure.
Now, most cars today, they have those tire pressure gauges. So if the tire drops before a certain level, and then it shows you that it's just dropping. So normally I'm like about 38 pounds of PSI. It's dropping, it's going 15. And I'm trying to get home. I'm thinking, okay, can I get home quick? I'm like half a mile away from home. I'm thinking, no, they're going to have me. I'm going to ruin the tire, pull off the side of the road. Now I'm just fuming, right? Because now I'm more mad at myself because it's just pointless, right? It's just pointless exercise. Now I'm going to change the tire and everything. And of course, yeah, just.
So you changed the tire the whole bit.
Changed the tire. So now I have the spare tire on. So
did you get a blowout on the sidewall? Is that what happened?
I'm not sure what happened. Didn't look like there was any damage. It may have just popped the seal, right? If I hit it hard enough, pop the seal.
That would be very lucky if it did, depending on if you have high.
Yeah, like the rims didn't look like they were bent or anything like that. So
yeah, you didn't scrape them or anything, nothing like that. No. Thomas. So what is it about? Why do you have to be God's police officer?
There's an excellent point right there. But
the world security team.
Yeah. You know what it is? I think my problem is that I've gotten, maybe this isn't even a problem. The reality is I've gotten this thing in my head that more and more people are just saying, I don't care about the rules anymore. I'm going to do what I want to do. And I feel like that is just not acceptable and people need to be educated.
Yes. Okay. So when you get that badge of education, the educational committee, the moral educational committee of the world badge, that you can carry.
I think I have it already, don't I?
You have it in your mind.
My mind. That's right. In my mind, I have that badge. Right.
So I relate to what you're saying. I have come to the conclusion that when you take the defensive driving course, I took the Scotty defensive driving course years ago,
right.
And they teach you to go, right to left, left to right, and scan everything. Always anticipate.
Right.
That something's going to happen, and have that in your mindset. If you just get in the car and drive merrily down the road and expect everybody is going to observe all of the traffic rules and regulations, you're in fairy tale land.
Totally.
And if you come to Florida with all the 80-year-old people driving down here, you're really in trouble.
Right. Yeah, so you got to be aware, and then listen, they're wonderful people. They've earned the right to drive the car, but yeah, you got to be aware of. You have to actually look out for them, for their own well-being too. Yeah.
Oh, without a doubt. So yeah, I mean, somebody with flowers and driving flowers for a florist or something like that, they're in a rush to drop off roses. What do you got,
Tom? Were you like that as a kid or just as an adult?
Oh,
well, I do recall. I do recall a few stories. One was, so we had field day, field day, we do like all the field, like outside.
Yes. Yeah.
So one of the things the teachers allowed us to say, okay, you're going to have a track and field team so we could pick the teams. So my group of friends decided, okay, we're going to have the all-star team. So we're just going to do a simple 100-yard dash. And the top 4 guys get to be in the team. So of course, first race happens. I think I finished 6th. I said, no, we're doing it again. Let's go. We're doing it again. The guys are all, no, we're not doing it again. We did it. And you're not on the team. I said, we're doing it again. And so we did it again. I think I came in 5th. And of course, they were like, oh, God, he's going to want to do it again. So I said, we're doing it again. I think they finally got to the point where they didn't want to run anymore. So they let me get in the top 4 spots so I could be on the team.
Oh, my God. And how old were you at this
point? I must have been 8 or 9 years old. Yeah.
So really that young you started like this? You've
Yeah.
been doing this now for that many years?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, my mother tells a story, and I don't remember the story, but she was very proud of this moment. That in on the farm, all the kids from the area would come to the corner, and the bus would stop and pick us all up. And there's this one young girl who was getting some kind of disease, and she was going blind. So all the parents got together and said, "Listen, we'll just have the kids take turns getting her on and off the bus." And again, I don't remember this. My mother was very proud of it. I suppose I stepped up and says, "No, I will take her on and off the bus all the time." So my mother was very proud because she thought it was so sweet. So there's some bad things that came from this attitude, but also some good things that came from the attitude that I was going to be. It's funny talking about this because I don't realize this all the time. It has been my way or the highway, I guess. Yeah.
Well, I mean, and that's just the way you are. I mean, it's not like that, right? That's just the way you are. And
yeah, good buddy of mine, Walt Kyle.
Yep.
We went to school together. We know you.
Yep.
So we were talking. It's been a while. We hadn't talked in a while. I'm divorced twice. He's divorced once, and we're talking about relationships. And I go, yeah, relationships just don't seem to work out for me. He's laughing. He's going, well, of course they don't. Like he says, don't you know who you are? He said, if you don't get it your way, there's no way. So
wow, somebody's blowing up my phone. Don't they realize? Can't they tell by the TV?
Yeah, we got a session going on here.
Yeah, we got something going on here. Holy crap! So Walt Kyle, Western Michigan, right?
Northern Michigan. So he's laughing at me because I don't realize who I am and can't figure out why my relationships don't last because I always have to have it my way.
So by now you realize who you are.
Yes. Yeah.
Now you know who you are. So
yeah, and I think it's just that's the way it is. There's no.
You know what I mean? So do you temper that in some situations?
Yes, I do. In some, that's a very good way of putting it. In some situations,
how do you like that? Huh?
Right. Yeah, but like so going on Survivor was a good example. So we would at Survivor, you go on the challenges, and they give you about a minute before the challenge to come up with strategies.
Yep.
And because I was the older guy, I was captain on the NHL teams. They would all say before the strategy session, "Okay, Tom, you lead the way." So I go to start leading the way, and they all start talking right away. Now, normally in that situation, I would have been like, "Shut up! I'm going to lead the way." But you figure at Survivor, you can't do that because you can't stick out like that. So, yeah.
So you lasted 6 episodes on Survivor, right? Lack of empathy kicked you off, right? But now, do you think that if you took charge and tried to be you in that situation, would you have lasted more shows or less shows? Wow, this is very annoying, bro.
No, that's fine.
And I can't stop it. Well, it's not really what I want to do here.
You're a popular guy.
All right. No, it doesn't matter. But okay,
well,
I'm not disturbed.
I think, that's a great question because what I did was my strategy there's all kinds of different strategies was that I was going to not be that strategic guy. I was going to form an alliance with 4 other people, kind of a secret alliance. The problem is when they have the tribe swap, which means they just changed up all the members of the tribes. My 4 people I had an alliance with went over on the other tribe. So Mr. Loyalty now got bit in the butt because I was loyal because the people that voted me off said, "Tom, you're great," which we know that.
Well, what are they going to tell you? Tom, you suck. You're 6'2", 240 or whatever the hell you are. I mean, you're a monster. You scared the whole island, right? There probably were no animals on the island while you were on that show, right? Everybody was afraid. What are they going to tell you?
We went for LA for casting about two months before.
Yeah, come on.
And at the end of the week, they bring you in. They have like a final, going away meeting, and the 3 guys are there, and they go, "Tom, do you always try to intimidate everybody?" And I'm going, I said, "What are you talking about? I was a great guy here." They go, "Tom, we're all scared to death of you. I don't know what you're talking about." Like,
really? Yeah, but sure. I mean.
Yeah. So I guess the question
and listen, wait, excuse me. You carry yourself like somebody like a Jocko or any of these other guys. You're a macho guy. You're a big guy. It's not like you come into the room and say, "Hey, what are you doing?" Yeah. It's their own imagination. You're like the tough, crazy military sergeant uncle that everybody either had or imagines.
And I am loud too. Somebody said to me the other day, I think I was going to buy my lottery tickets, and the guy behind the thing, he called me. There's some TV show, and he called me by. He says, "You're like this guy." And I go, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Well, the guy's always loud. He's always talking loud." So, yeah.
Well, you enunciate.
I enunciate. That's right.
You enunciate and you project. You project your voice and you enunciate, and that's it. And you're passionate.
Passionate's the word. I
like that. Yeah, you like so far. Yeah, because you're in a way you're a bit of a mirror. Except I guess maybe I'm on more medication. my mixture of supplements might just relax me a little more than yours.
Man. Yeah, the I tried to take a couple of days to just say, calm down a little bit, Tom. Just don't be so, like just relax a little bit, and it's just not possible. Especially now, like I think you're the same way now. Living this lifestyle, like it's like you want to get up and get going. It's like people ask, like, so what do you do for fun? I'm like, get up. Right? That's fun.
Get up is right. It's the truth, though.
Yeah.
Somebody asked me, how do you be happy? Well, you just wake up and you're happy. Be grateful you're alive. Right.
It is true, because now
start with being grateful you're alive.
Yeah.
And then the easiest thing, though, is to smile.
Right. It is funny, right? Because since you start doing this stuff, if somebody asked me like 10 years ago, what do you do for fun? Well, I would have stopped and thought and said, oh, geez, here's what I do. And it's like, no, I get up. Yeah.
Yeah. I wake up. I'm happy I'm alive. I mean, simple as that. Some mornings I wake up, it's too early. Aerosmith's that's beautiful. Way to go, Bill.
I almost missed that too.
Oh my God. Yeah. I don't think anybody from Aerosmith is actively watching our podcast. Tom.
What?
No, that's what I heard. I know. I asked one of them, did you see what I said about you? Forget about it. It turned into a 3-hour conversation about him. You think they have long, you think I have long stories. You got to talk to one of those guys.
Yeah. I'm down at, actually going to be down at the Madison Square Garden tonight. We're doing a thing with, let me see here.
Yep.
Let me make sure I got I think it's Charlie Smith. I think it was. Hold on.
Charlie Smith.
Hold on. Making sure I got the right. Hold this on.
What the hell's that? The dogs?
Dogs.
Oh, for
That's
Christ's
what we deal
sake.
with. That's what we deal with. So Charles Smith.
Wow.
Sam Rose is going to be there. Charles Smith and Tom Laidlaw. We're doing a thing at Suite 200, kind of giving out awards to the employees down there.
Oh, that's cool.
It's pretty cool. Yeah, we did it before where I went down. It wasn't during the award show. It was like the day of a game. So we went around and just thought all the concession people and everything. And I thought, oh God, they won't like. They're like, who the heck is this guy? The way they were really. I walked into it. I walked in the lunchroom and they started giving me a standing ovation. No, it was when I left. They started giving me the standing ovation. So I was like, I was really surprised. It's a cool thing. I guess because they're probably working all the time. Nobody ever thanks them for anything, and that's all we were doing. We're just going around thanking them. We didn't. There's nothing else going on.
And that's kind of all you have to do is acknowledge people nowadays, right? Yep. And that's another thing. That's another way to become happy. You start making people happy. Guess what? You can get it back. It's real. This is simple stuff.
Yeah, it is true.
It doesn't have to get too freaking complicated.
Yeah. But isn't it true though? Like we're both the same way. I won't speak for you, but I didn't understand that before. Like it's been the last 5-6 years that I finally understood. I don't need to get something, money or something back. Just I will get things back just by doing things for others.
Yeah, and it's not like you're going to say, "Hey, it's really great to see you. Thanks a lot." They're not going to give you $50 to say that to them, but it's good stuff will happen to you.
Totally.
It's you know what I'm saying. And I didn't know that before either.
Oh, same here. Right?
I mean, I had a company. I had a company with a couple hundred, employees, for Pete's sakes.
Yeah.
All I had to do was walk in and say, "Hey, good morning. How's it going?"
Right.
That's all I had to do. I walked in and saw my mom. My mom was like, "They're robbing from you." So she was planting that insanity in my head. I was like, "Ma, please stop."
Right. That's funny. I won't mention the name at all, but I got a fantastic, well, shouldn't say fantastic. It's kind of a very sad email or direct message from a woman. Again, I won't mention any names, but her son recently had some seizures and went into cardiac arrest and is in a vegetative state. And, she's like financial needs and everything. So we got on the phone and I just said, okay, listen. And she's crying and all that. And I said, listen, I understand, but we're going to change things around here. It's going to be all positive. He can hear what we're saying. He can feel our feelings. When you walk in that room with him, you've got to tell him that he's going to get out of there because and she said, well, the doctors are all, he'll never breathe again by his own, all that kind of stuff. I said, listen, they're about science and medicine. We're about the spirit and everything. So we're going to get him to, so I did him sent him a video. She was really, it goes along with what we're talking about. And I know you would have done the same thing, but she was really touched more like what it did for her too. Like she said, listen, this has just changed my whole way of looking at this situation. Right. And again, simple stuff. It's not like you and I invented the wheel here or anything like that.
No.
Yeah.
No. And we didn't invent any of this really. I mean, because we look, the bottom line is you were open enough. I was open enough to actually like even listen to this for a second.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then once I listened to it for a second, it made perfect sense. And it tied me back into like what my grandfather told me when I was 8 years old. You know what I mean? All of this to me, this whole thing makes perfect sense. And it's really simple. Just to wake up, wake up and be grateful you're alive.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'll speak for myself, but I, you're the same way.
Yeah.
Wake up grateful to be alive. That's it. And then what can we do to just improve on
Yeah.
that feeling when you wake up?
Yeah. Improve on like making yourself better all the time, little
Yeah.
things, big things. Yeah.
I mean, even when it comes to like people say, well, how'd you get like 30,000 followers on this or that? Or how do you have all these followers? And you know what? I did it for myself initially, selfish as that might seem. A friend of mine recommended that I post stuff on TikTok. I was like, I'm not going to dance. I told my friend Rick, I'm not going to dance. He goes, no, just post what you're telling me right now. And that's exactly what I did. And I continue to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Isn't that true? Like it's you. You're not trying to be somebody else. You're just trying to be
no,
Rick and Birdie, right?
No, I'm just trying to be, better. I mean, that's what it is. I'm trying to improve myself because the person that I wasn't as positive as I should have been, right. Quite frankly. You know what I mean? And also really for me, I had to stop being a victim.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I had to stop being a victim. Oh, this happened to me. That happened to me. This person robbed me. This person didn't do the right thing. This person made me mad. This person, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that's all horse shit.
Yeah.
Because you know what? Because that just, if you live like a victim, you're not in control of your own mind. You're not in control of your own abilities, and you're not aware of yourself.
Sure.
And that's freaking important. It's not your wife that screwed you around or your husband or your significant other. How's that? It's not your significant other that screwed you around. It's you allowed it to happen, or you allowed yourself to be in that position, and when I say you, me, I allowed myself into be in every position that I've been in life.
Yep. Totally. And the reality is you're not perfect and life is not fair. Right. So things are going to happen to you. That's the way it is. Big bad thing.
Listen, I walk around with positivity. Okay. I walk around with it. And listen, some days are horrendous.
Yeah.
I mean, one day I woke up, there's a freaking hurricane down here.
Yeah.
Right. So here I am. I've been here since 2020, right? Pandemic. Let me get the hell out of where I was. I come down here, and next thing you know, whatever the hell date it was, October 28th or something. September 28th, I think it was. September 28th, 2022. Hurricane. I'm in the middle of a hurricane.
Hurricanes are following you around because you were here for Sandy.
I was here for Sandy. Yeah, Sandy made a big life change for me because then I had the junior hockey team. I was the biggest tenant at Playland. We had I bought the most amount of ice at Playland, even more than Manhattanville. I had the pro shop there. I had it like it was my little fiefdom. And next thing I know, it's flooded and they close it for 2 years.
Right.
And obviously, guess what? People weren't going to wait for it to open. Hockey continues, right? I don't blame anybody. Yeah. So yeah, and
you're the bearer of bad news. Like things follow you around, like basically.
Nah, you know what? Opportunity follows me around. But I hear what you're saying, Tom. Listen, this is a podcast. We're not sitting at the bar 30 years ago going, I used to be somebody with Aerosmith, and they blew it. They didn't understand what they had here. Pour me another drink.
Oh, here's a great question by Murray Graham. So would you go on Amazing Race? And if so, who would you want as partner? So that's how that whole journey started, actually. Jerry Bruckheimer, the producer, I believe I have this correct, owns a piece of Amazing Race, Big Brother, and Survivor. I think that's how it is.
And he skates. He's a hockey player, right?
He's got a big hockey program in LA. He owns a piece of the Seattle Kraken, actually, as well. So he's a big hockey player. So he approached the NHL, not just about me. They wanted to get 2 former NHL players, a little older guys, more mature guys, we'll call.
Yeah, that's it. I like that.
And both to go, and they needed to be somewhat friends and played together or knew each other pretty well to go on Amazing Race. So they called the Rangers. The Rangers called me, knowing all the stuff I'm doing. So I went to a few of my teammates. And basically, I said this publicly too, and they were not too happy with me. But basically, their conditioning level wasn't where it needed to be. Let's put it that way. I said it a little bit differently, but so I got back to him. I said, listen, and the casting directors for Amazing Race were the same casting directors for Survivor. So actually, and a gentleman that was helping me with the stuff, marketing stuff at that time, had a connection with one of the casting directors at Survivor. I guess I don't know who it was, but anyways, so they brought up the Survivor thing, and I said, I actually had a conversation with the casting director and said, I mean, I won't be lying because I can't because of all of my True Grit Life stuff. I just won't play that game. He said, well, if you're going to be on Survivor, you're going to have to lie. I said, we'll see. So we went through the whole process when I was out there for casting in LA. And I told all the CBS, the producers and people from CBS and everything, I had a big meeting. And I said, listen, I will not be lying and playing like the other people. I won't be crying. There'll be none of that stuff. I can't. And they said, okay, that's fine. You play your game.
Oh my God.
So that's how we happened. Yeah.
That's you play your game.
It's funny because it was, like, must have been 20, all the heavy hitters from Survivor or CBS and everything.
Oh.
And the one guy said to me, he says, he was just joking around as an older guy. He says, you look like one of those old guys that does all the steroids and everything.
Oh.
Yeah, it's funny, but I was feeling pretty cocky. I just, who the F are you calling old? And I paused for about 10 seconds, like the room's quiet, like they're thinking I'm really mad. And I said,
silence. You know, but that's funny. Yeah, silence, right? They tell you to do that.
Yeah.
A lot of times, just silence. Silence speaks volumes, right?
Totally. That's one, honestly, that's a very interesting point for you. That's one of the things that I didn't pick up on. I thought, like, even when I was doing radio work or TV work or whatever, I thought you always have to be talking, and you don't. Just stop.
Yes, silence. Say something. Drop a truth bomb.
Yeah,
and then.
Oh yeah,
it makes
it more dramatic like that too, right? When you drop a big bomb, and then just don't say anything. Yeah.
Isn't it funny? I don't know how many times you've heard this, but I know I have, and a couple of times somebody would tell me this, that somebody said it about me. Okay. We work out, right? I mean, we work out. I've always worked out. I've been working out for God knows how long. Okay. And so, yeah, now at this age, at my age, I still lift weights.
Yes.
I still bench press. Yeah. I still squat. I still do all of that stuff. Right. Yeah. And, but I'm not Ronnie Coleman, obviously, right. Who blew his hips out, the poor guy. Yeah. So long story short, somebody will say, oh, so-and-so said you must be on steroids.
Oh yeah. God.
Now, like, I'm going to be taking steroids now. No, but not at all. Not, I take supplements. I take supplements, but they're all healthy supplements. I mean, it's all, there's no BS in there, but so that's the excuse. We're on steroids, Tom.
If you eat properly, you produce. So one of the big things that, one of the big things that happens in your body is you lose testosterone as you get older.
Yes.
So that creates some other issues in your body. But if you eat proper foods and exercise, that testosterone level going down is slowed down. It's still going to drop, but it's not going to drop like it would if you're just sitting around eating hot dogs, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, testosterone. I mean, look, you have to eat right? Omega-3. I mean, I take omega-3. I take. We've been through all of this, and you do the same stuff. I mean, the turmeric, curcumin, bioperine, that gets you going, your circulation. There's so many different things to take.
Avocados and bananas and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Oh, good. It's so easy now to research it too. Like, I've got my Google thing down there that I talk to all the time. It says, hey, Google, is avocado good for you? And then she researches all these different places and comes back and
totally. I mean, it's unbelievable. It really is. And it's good for you. I mean, look, it works.
Oh, totally. Yeah. I feel so much better. Like,
it works for me. But here's the thing, just real quick. And we both do basically very similar things, right? But the overall theme is we are trying to be healthy, and we're trying to think positive. And some days it doesn't work, and we hit a curb with our tire or whatever it might be. No, and that's just that, your stuff is, that might be too much amino acid or something.
Anyway, I prefer to look at it the other way.
Go.
That terrible situation, awful situation, hitting the curb.
Stop.
Terrible situation.
No, it's not.
Bullshit. But because of my now conditioning level and mental strength, I was able to fight through it much quickly because I was prepared. So it would have been like other people may have been, had to be put in the hospital or something like that, where I was just fine.
Oh, stop. You know what would have been perfect? The 4 kids that followed you too closely from the beach. It would have been funny if they drove by, saw you changing your tire, and gave you the finger. That would have. And then your neighbor was taking the dog from the vet, and she stops and says, "Are you okay?" The dog is chirping at you, Pepper, and right, that'd be like a nightmare.
Or if the 10 guys who I threw their ladder down the hill.
Oh yeah, those guys.
If they'd come by and help me, and that would have been funny too.
That would have been perfect. That one of them changes the tire.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Oh my God,
made me feel like a total jerk. Or maybe if that family from South Africa that I yelled at the parents that the kids couldn't play outside my door, if they came by and brought me sandwiches while I was changing the tire.
Perfect. Yeah. And that's the kind of stuff that happens, right?
Yeah.
Right. And then right after that, you got home and your hypnotist calls up and says, "Tom, I think it's time."
Yeah, it is time. What it's time.
Imagine. Oh, you would have.
I told you the story.
Your pants.
The last show we did, and we're just going to do it once a month with her now. She's fantastic. It's more of her schedule. Last show though, it was funny. We were talking about some of this stuff that, like I can drive 80 miles an hour on the highway, but somebody can't break the 30-mile-an-hour speed limit in town, or else I get mad about it. She says, I told a few stories similar to that. She goes, Tom, there may be an issue here. It seems like it's okay for you to do certain things, but other people can't do them.
Oh my God. Really?
She's very good. She's kind of joking around, but she's also like serious. Like, it's pretty funny.
Oh my God.
Yeah, very funny.
That's way funny. Jesus Christ. So what happened? Dory came and went. She made her presence known, and
and let's be clear here too. I did call her out. She said she liked the scruff. And again, we were discussing your scruff. She didn't say anything about my scruff at all. And I called her out.
Yours is prominent, Tom.
I called her out on it. She didn't even respond. Like, it's like maybe she, by her silence. Her silence is
silence.
Right.
Yeah. Her silence. She just stopped for a second. Blew it up and keeps going.
Okay, so intentionally, she's leaving me hanging. Like I specifically asked about my scruff. She doesn't answer the question. So specifically, she's trying to get to me.
Let's pay attention more. Let's pay attention more to Bill. Bill is here all the time. He's loyal.
She wants me to do the breathing. She wants me to get so irate that I need to do the breathing. That's what it is. I know it.
You could have used her after changing the tire. Let me tell you something. Especially God forbid you find out that you blew out your sidewall, and you got, I don't know what, whatever kind of car you have, it's like a $200 tire or something like that.
Oh, so Yukon Denali, yeah, they're $200 tires.
Oh yeah, they are. Oh, Yukon Denali, huh? Nice. Wait a second. So those are the high profile tires. That's why you didn't ruin the rim. Oh yeah. Yeah. That's why you didn't ruin the rim. Right.
But I'll tell you when. Okay, so the real high point of my frustration was when I looked at the gauge and the yellow light comes on. I'm looking at the gauge and they got the number dropping down, like 25, 24, 23. It's going all the way down. I'm going,
yeah, that's a flat tire. And God forbid you ruin that rim.
I know, yeah. So I had to pull over.
That rim is hundreds.
I got down to about 9 pounds, and I thought, okay, I got to go throw it. So
I'm gonna make a confession. I have an air compressor in my car. It's a little one, about this big, and you plug it into your cigarette lighter, and it'll blow the tires up. And
I've got one like that. It was more for blowing. I don't know if it worked on tires. It was more for blowing up. We had a trampoline. We had a boat. We had a trampoline that would go out on the water, and we had a little foot pump on this. It's a pretty sturdy little thing for an air pump to blow the trampoline up.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but you mean it's like this?
Just a little foot thing. You step on it. No, it's not. No. I know what you mean. It's not that one which you pump down. It's a little bit more sturdy, but I don't know if it works for tires. Oh, and actually, you know what? No, it doesn't have. It's electronic too. It might plug into the. I'm going to try that.
It's either UBS or the cigarette lighter. You could buy one at an auto parts store, and it's just well worth it to have. Because the last thing I want to do is have to, unless I get a sidewall blowout, the last thing I want to do is change a tire. Yeah. Because wasn't it simple to put the jack together and find where the jack is and all of that kind of stuff?
I had done it before, so I knew. I got the instruction manual, but the first time I did it, and like even getting, so there's little to get the spare tire down, it pulls up underneath the vehicle. So there's a little hole where you got to put the crank in. So you got to get it in there the right way, and then you crank it down.
It's a pain in the neck. I had an Escalade, so I had an Escalade, and once I got my first flat with the Escalade, I went and got the air compressor. I got the little kit that that teaches you how to pull the nail out if you had a nail, which you didn't. Pull the nail out and plug it. To this day, I'm probably gonna go outside and get a flat now, but I still have all of that stuff with me. Whatever car I drive, I bring a little bag, because the worst thing you want is a freaking flat tire.
Yeah, seriously, that's a great idea for getting the plug in there too, because it's really not that hard to do. It's just having the right equipment and everything.
It isn't hard at all. It's very simple. But at the same time, AAA, I think for AAA, you just join AAA and they'll come in and change your tire.
Yeah. Right.
But you probably got to wait an hour.
Yeah, that's true. I've got that Allstate roadside service. So
you'd still be there.
Yeah. I know. Yeah. Well. Reminds me of the famous story where I went over to New Jersey during the pandemic, and they tell you the story. I may have told you. So during the pandemic, I'm in the state of Connecticut. My registration had expired. They emailed a notice out saying that you don't have to go back and get it re-registered until we let you know. But we needed to check back to see when that grace period was over with. So I'd gone over to New Jersey, met this young lady. She was in the city. We were going to go for lunch, but all the places in the city were closed. So we went over to, I can't remember the town, right across, it's awful. So we go into this restaurant, both have salads, that doesn't cost too much, maybe $100 for a couple of salads. I come out, my car is towed away. So it was about 3 days. So it was like January 3rd or something like that. Just so happened they had notified me. Of course, I didn't look. They notified me that the grace period was over January 1, and you need to get your car and to get.
Wow.
So in New Jersey, they don't allow you to even drive the car if it's not inspected, because it's the emissions test and everything is supposed to be done.
Oh,
so,
are you kidding me?
Yeah. So we go to the police station, find out what's going on. I don't know what's going on at this point. And the police officer really nice. I'm sorry, we just can't do about it. So she was very sweet too. I said, listen, I'll get you an Uber back. There's no issue hanging out. She says, no, I'll stay with you. And I felt like such a jerk too. So now you got to wait forever. You got to go to the place where they towed it. Then I've got to rent a car, get her back in the city, drive home. Then I have to get the tow truck. So the reason I bring this up is my Allstate roadside service. If you overuse it once a year, you'll get a free tow. But if you use it the second time, it's a discounted price. So I have to. So it held up. This 2 salads cost me like $750 in total.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
All because Mr. Don't pay attention to the rules. Another case of where if I just had gone online and find out when is the registration period. Oh,
yeah, but the pandemic. I mean, that was like all bets were off.
Yeah,
right in the middle of that pandemic. I mean,
that's the excuse. That's the excuse. The other 62 years of my life, I don't know. We haven't got an excuse for that.
I don't know. The pandemic was tough. I mean, it's still around. I know somebody, a good friend of mine just got COVID in New York.
Oh, really? Oh,
got COVID. I can't believe it.
I was listening to, it was Boomer Esiason's show in the morning, and one of their workers, Jerry, or whatever, he'd gone and done the Dallas. He's a big Dallas football fan. He does some play-by-play stuff. And he'd gone into Dallas to do the game there last weekend. He was saying it was unbelievable how many people wore a mask in Texas.
Really?
Yeah. It's kind of surprising. Like I thought Texas is one of those places where they didn't wear the mask, and he said now they're all over the place. So,
I'll tell you what, down in Florida, people are just between the hurricane, COVID, this and that. I don't see a lot of masks.
Oh, right.
I don't think I'm not bragging about it. Watch, I'll probably get a cough tomorrow, but I don't think I've worn a mask since I've been down here.
I never would have put a mask on unless we had to put a mask on.
Yeah. Well, they were kind of telling us to put a mask on, I think, at some point, right?
Well, up around here, you couldn't go into stores around here during the heat of the pandemic. Yeah.
And so for me, the only thing that and a couple of times I was in New York, if somebody wanted me to put a mask on, I'm not going to argue with them, especially if it was an older person or whatever it might be. The hell with that. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Dory, see, she got silent, but she's still here with us.
Basically, she's rubbing it in, the karma that comes back to me. That's the time of my karma.
Wow.
And she is really trying to, I know what it is too, Dory. You're just trying to get me to do the breathing. You're trying to aggravate me to the point where I'll just totally give in.
I feel like we're in high school. We're in high school. Yeah. My problem is I went to an all-boy high school. That was a bummer because I missed all this little repartee with the girls in high school.
She's probably she's passing notes around or something like that.
Yeah. She's talking about it.
Poke Tommy in the head. Like poke Tommy.
The cute girl in class or something like that.
Yeah, starting trouble.
Yeah. You might be the assistant captain. It sounds like one of your Michigan, one of your hockey stories. you broke down the door at the sorority house your first time out.
I tell you what, though, I'm going back there. I'm up in northern Michigan on. I go up there November 6th, the Sunday. I make 2 presentations on the 7th. I'm speaking to the student athlete. All the student athletes up there. So I'm looking forward to that. But it is funny. The closer it gets to, I start thinking of some of the old stories. I'm like, oh my God.
As your social media advisor,
right?
Okay, but you don't recognize it as such. Make sure you get some video of the speech. Can you do that?
They're actually doing that. They're taping their video in the presentation.
And then if you want, although you'll probably try it on your own, but you should have one of your friends that is on social media. Let him make some little snippets for you, and then you could use it on Instagram and TikTok.
The key is could.
You know what I'm saying? That would be a smart move, Thomas.
The key is could.
Yes.
Okay. So now she's up in the ante now. Nope. I do not want to hold space for you. Amazing breathwork session. Oh, she's up in the ante now. Oh my God. She is hold on. Dogs are barking.
Wow. Everything's, let me see. I'm taking off my ear things. Oh my God. The show, we're the only podcast. It's interrupted by dogs.
We're living in the dog pound. Who let the dogs out?
Oh my
Who let
God.
the dogs
All right,
out?
listen, what's going on with your dance contest? Because I remember we talked about that last week. I know
I'm
this is
gonna
all
be-
about you. Go
yes,
ahead.
I'm going to be at the Garden tonight. Hopefully, get that finalized. We had wanted to use the Garden of Dreams as our charity,
Mhm.
so I brought it to some people at Madison Square Garden. We got to hopefully get finalized. I don't listen. We could just do it on our own if we want, but I don't
Right.
want to do that. But I want
Right.
to make sure I get the approval of people at Madison Square Garden. So, but no, looking forward to that. And we want everybody to do a dance video except Dory.
Yeah, because that's all she does. What, are you kidding me?
She's too busy. She doesn't have time to do it. She doesn't have time for me to do
You have to
wrestling.
visit her TikTok page where all she does is dance.
Yeah, but clearly she's too busy. Let's get this clear. She just declared. She
She's
just
too busy for the
declared-
breath work.
Hold on. Yeah. Just to go, nope, I do not want to hold space for your amazing breathwork side. See? Hold space for it. In other words, she's saying, I'm so busy. I'm too busy for you, Tom, is what it is.
Oh my
so,
God.
So we don't, if she's too busy for me, then she's too busy to dance.
Oh no, I don't think so. Lorraine, isn't Lorraine going to be doing the dancing?
Lorraine is definitely going to.
She's
Yep.
in it. She's
Yeah.
in it.
Hold on.
Who
Lorraine's
else?
here. Oh, yeah.
Is-
She's going to do it. Everybody's doing it.
Right, Lorraine. There you go. Oh,
Yeah.
expensive date. Look at that.
Yeah,
Oh.
get rid of that. Yeah. This guy, I don't know if we want him to do it or not. Again, we got to do some.
No,
research to
I
find
want to
out-
see what Bill comes up with. I want to see what
Yeah.
that. Listen, his life is a dive bar. That's how
Right.
he explains his stuff. Yeah, Italian
So,
hot dogs.
But
work for
again,
me.
we're gonna have to really find out, do some digging here. Maybe we'll get the genealogist to find out, is that really his name? Is that like I believe that he took a bunch of letters and vowels,
I gotta look.
letters, and just threw them all together and said this was what he came up with, and that's his name.
How do you think you pronounce that, by the way? William Kondratyuk.
Well, I said Contradidiac, which is not correct.
Oh, yeah, that's not-
Kondratiak. I don't want to say it properly.
Kontriak. And what country do you think he's from?
Same as Larry Melnick, he's Ukrainian.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay. And look, he's such a winner. He's got his family, pictures of his family and everything.
But
This
again,
guy-
that's the thing, right? Like it's almost too like he
Perfect.
wants to
you
pretend
think it's a setup?
Yeah.
Like a deep state, they're following us. The deep state is following us, and then
Right.
he's
So,
one
like,
of their
he
guys.
wants this name said
Wait,
properly.
contradict.
Oh,
Contradict.
Contradict.
Oh, he's a contradiction.
Oh, definitely.
Gotcha. Oh, yeah, there you go. So it could be deep state.
Yeah, I think we should do an online.
He's a set ahead. Finally, Ira. Where's Ira been? Here you go. Another guy.
That's right. We're
Ira,
gonna do-
yes or no? Excuse me. Yes or no? Are you married? Please let us know
I don't
when you
think
get
he
a
is.
chance.
I think we've covered this before. I don't think he is.
Oh, on another show, right? You have so many freaking shows. I gotta. I
Ira.
have to go on my spot. What is it?
He's got to tell us how to say Ira.
Ira.
No, he's
Listen,
not
you-
married. Surprise! I thought for sure he was married.
Okay. Because Dory was asking. I might as well. But you guys
Oh.
talk offline.
That's right. Sorry, the pot
Oh.
stirrer. The
How
stirrer-
about this? You know what I wanted to, and this is more for me, emphasis to help you. Okay, do something with your NHL career and your fame and fortune on Survivor. Okay.
There you go. You knew I was on Survivor, right?
Okay.
Pot and sock. Did you see the pot and sock?
Pot Van
Sock.
Socks. Pot
Yes,
Van
that's a-
Socks.
That's
okay?
a great idea. Whoever thought of that? That was fantastic.
Well,
That was
he's a
good.
genius. I wonder if it's like that guy Bill Olange who works with us with the Rangers when we used to throw do the stuff for the kids.
Right.
Learn to skate with the kids. Bill Olange, bald-headed guy who coached high school hockey.
Oh yeah.
87 years ago, and would
Yeah.
tell you about what he said to the high school team between the second and third period in a game against Schlabokes or something like that. They turned around and won 3-2.
Right.
And that was like the
Mhm.
highlight. That's like
Yep.
that's like telling somebody who's a Navy SEAL that we're going into battle in this hockey game. This men's pickup game. The third period is going to be a real war. We're going to war.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny.
Nah,
Yeah, I hate when
love
people
Bill
say
Olange.
like that game was like a war. I
Yeah.
know it's just a phrase they're using, but yeah, nice pot and pucks.
He said next
pretty
is Pot Van Pucks. That's good.
pretty good. That's good. I like that.
Pot Van sucks. He's smart move. I mean, it
Yeah.
only took him. What is he like? 68 years old. It took him. He should
Well,
have done that 10 years
I don't
ago.
think he created it though. I think it was somebody with the Islanders created it.
Well, it's a brilliant move, and he had. There's a picture of him putting the socks on.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
I think it was in the post or something. Somebody
Yeah.
sent it to me either last night or whatever the hell. I saw it this morning. Pot Van socks. Brilliant. I think that's brilliant. I think it's a little late in the game, but who knows?
Yeah.
In this season of branding, and
Yeah.
gets his own website, and off he goes. He sells socks all over the place.
Yeah.
Mass produces them.
I wonder who's got that trademark though. Did the Islanders who created it, or is he?
Well, it has his name, so I got to believe that counts for something, but I could be wrong.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's
you do sign away your name. Well, when you're a player, you sign away your name and likeness to the NHL.
Right.
Well, it's not exclusive though, because you can still do your own stuff. So
interesting. All right. What else? If we're going to talk about sports, what do you think about Judd? Where's our buddy there? Yeah, where's he going?
Okay, so there's two sides to this, right?
The agent.
Yes. So he's a little older now because he spent 3 years in college, right? A lot of people come out.
Okay.
Don't know. So his career has kind of been backed up by 3 years. So the reason we say that is that he wants, I think, is it an 8-year deal, which would take him to 38 years old. Some believing that those last few years of his contract, he won't live up to the money he's getting paid. But that's part of the price of signing a free agent, which is what he will be at the end of the season, because the Yankees had a chance to sign him. Obviously, he had an MVP, probably an MVP season this past season, 62 home runs, all that kind of stuff. Didn't have a very good playoff, though, and he has really never had good playoffs. His teams have never won the World Series. But from the marketing side, it's like, okay, so let me get this straight. You have this guy that probably is going to win the MVP, sets the record for home runs, the American League record for home runs, and you're not going to get him signed? You're the New York Yankees. I just think, if they don't get him signed and then they go out and have a subpar year next year, I don't know. But you know what? The thing, they're the Yankees, and they'll still sell out. They'll still make their money, even if he's not signed. They'll sign some other free agents. I just think it's one of those things. He's such a classy guy. He's a Derek Jeter kind of, a Henrik Lundqvist kind of guy, the way he carries himself. I don't know.
Yeah, it'd be a sin. So they said that Los Angeles was heavily after him, the Dodgers, but even more importantly, San Francisco, where he's from, San Francisco says that they want to go after him.
Well, they can't say that publicly because he's still property of another team. But there is rumored that
pardon me, he's a free agent.
Not till. But this rumor has been going all year long. They've really never come out and said. People are okay. I mean, they probably have said it publicly or privately, so they give it to the right people. So
right. Okay.
But that whole theory that because he's from there, people are going to play there. That's not always the case. Like in some ways, playing in your hometown, it can be a real pain. Like. That pain, I should have said.
I understand what you're saying. It's going to be distraction. It's right. There's going to be distractions. People are constantly going to be asking you for tickets or favors, or can you do this, that? I understand exactly what you're saying.
And it's like, okay, you're like, you want to be, okay. So if he was to play his whole career with the New York Yankees, it's like the Derek Jeters. There's very few people that have played for their one team for their whole career.
Yes,
especially in an organization like the Yankees. But now the other side of it is too that he has a responsibility to all the other members of the Major League Baseball Players Association to get as much as he can. So then the next player that comes along will say, "Okay, I'm as good as Aaron Judge, or maybe better." So that's going to now determine where the next high-end free agent gets to.
So do you think that? So what you just said, do you think that consensus of worrying about the other players, you think that holds steadfast across the board?
No. Does not.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
And, listen, he may just say.
And who is his agent? Also, doesn't that have a lot to do with it? Like Scott Boras was like notorious. He didn't care.
Yeah. Well, with the player of Aaron Judge's level, to be honest with you, I don't even think he needs an agent. He's the one that's determined his value. He could have as an accountant making phone calls because it's going to be that. Listen, because San Francisco, if they're smart, they're going to get the two bidding against each other. But that's only going to sort of like I don't see any one of these teams playing games with him. It's like, okay, it's more, what do you want? It doesn't mean I'm going to give it to you, but what do you want? And San Francisco is probably going to give him the 8 years, $40 million a year, whatever he wants.
Right.
And the Yankees are probably going to say, oh, we don't want it. We'll give him the $40 million a year, but we only want to give him 6 years.
Yeah, there's no way you can't give mate. Look at what first off, what did the Yankees give Stanton?
Yeah, big contract. I can't remember what that number was, but
it's a big contract, right? It is, and it's definitely going to be around forever.
Yeah, the thing is, when you sign a player to like a player that's established himself to be that much of a star player, marquee player, somebody that puts people in the seats, helps you. He's helping the value of the organization too, because he's that level of player. For a fact, or you're pretty certain, those last couple of years of his contract are not going to be. He's not going to be living up to the money that's just the fact. That's the cost of the act. It's actually the cost of acquiring the player.
Yeah.
So it's like almost like a signing bonus. So Yeah. To me, you say, okay, well, we know that, but we don't want to lose the player. I mean, he's still going to be great for us for 6 years, but he may be just average for us for 2 years. So.
I mean, I could be wrong, but Jeter, Posada, Mariano Rivera, right? Those guys. I mean, Andy Pettit, he played for Houston, right? He left and came back, I believe. Right. So it's almost like as a fan, you kind of remember that. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And I just Donnie Mattingly. How about Don Mattingly?
They were talking about today on the Boomer Show. So there's a guy everybody loved and everybody wanted him to win a World Series. Never did. Right.
Never did. Right.
So and Aaron Judge, is he in that category where everybody loves him, wants him to stay, but he's never going to win?
Well, I think the Yankees are bound to win. I mean, they're bound to win. It just shows you how hard it is to win.
Right. There's the next topic of discussion, like the general manager. Do they want him to stay?
Maybe it's time for a change, but then who do you get? I don't think you can make change just for the sake of making change, because that could be a disaster. We've seen that with the football teams, right?
And apparently he's like part of the family with the Steinbrenners. And the story is this morning that Hal Steinbrenner was interviewed down in Florida saying that the general manager, what's his name? I can't remember now.
Brian Cashman.
Yeah, Brian Cashman. Right. He's not going anywhere.
Right. Okay. So then Hal, I think Hal has a good idea because he owns the freaking team, right? Yeah. So all right, Cashman's not going anywhere. Yeah. What about the manager, Bob Boone?
Aaron Boone.
Aaron Boone. I'm sorry, Bob.
Well,
Boone,
and again, he's like the story is that he's like the tailor-made manager for Brian Cashman's teams, all the analytics, like that whole organization. So it isn't as simple as just getting rid of the manager or the general manager. The whole staff, the whole organization is designed around their theory of how to run the baseball team. There's a lot of analytics.
Yep.
They make group decisions on lineups and everything. Like a lot of cases, the manager, he makes the decision on a lineup. That's just not the way it is with the Yankees.
Wow.
So, here good. Like, and you're right. I am one of these believers too, that it isn't management. These guys are good people. They know what they're doing. It's the players have to go play. Like Aaron Judge had 62 home runs this year. He had one during the playoffs.
Right. And that was his only hit. I think he went 1 for 11. And it was a home run. So I don't know what that's about, but yes, that's a situation. Yeah. And I think Anthony said pitching is key, and he certainly has a great point. I always wonder, why are there so many pitchers that have injuries nowadays?
I know.
Back in the day, they didn't have a lot of injuries. And my question is that a lot of them are maybe hitting the gym and doing the wrong exercises.
Well, you got to wonder, right? And they've got all these rest days and pitch counts. I mean, they don't let them pitch past 100 pitches or whatever.
They didn't have anything back. I hate to say back in the old days, but this is all new stuff.
They pitched the whole game, unless they weren't pitching good enough. They pitched the whole game. So that's a great question, honestly. They look like they're in better shape, and they probably are in better shape. But is it baseball shape, right?
Yeah, is it baseball, especially for the arms? And when you see guys doing a lot of bicep, tricep work, forearm work. I want to know the Yankees. I mean, even Stanton, all of these guys, they get injured a lot. Now,
I know.
You know what I'm saying? So obviously, maybe that's one way to tell that they're not on steroids. They're getting injured. But more importantly, what kind of fitness routine? And I know they all have trainers, and I know they have all these programs that they do. But what I'd like to see the comparison between the Yankees and the Mets as far as fitness, because I know the Mets have one of the top fitness guys. In world renowned. Okay. Their trainer, their fitness guy is world renowned. And I wonder if, how good if he's world renowned, he must be fantastic. And how many of their pitches, what happens to the Mets arms? I don't know.
And you wonder why. I mean, every team, a team like the Yankees has got to say, listen, that's one area we've got to have one of the best people that gets our players in shape. You wonder somewhat too, and I don't mean to say that they're not tough enough, but you wonder if they're such thoroughbreds now. When they get a small injury, do they say, I can't pitch right now because they feel like, okay, if I make this injury worse, or I could hurt something else in my body. You know what I mean? It's that mentality that you can't fight through the injuries. And again, coming from the background, well, the same way, it's that was part of the lore of playing in the National Hockey League, was playing through injuries, right? It's like,
you play through it. Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But I mean, I would have everything. Are they doing cryotherapy? Do they have Normatec compression boots? Are they moving the lactic acid out of their freaking, your legs with the Normatec compression boots? Infrared sauna. I mean, all of that stuff works, right? The supplements. What kind of supplements do they have?
Right.
Or do they all have their own guy? Right. Yeah. Do they? And me as the owner, or me as the manager or the general manager, I have to rely on. I would want to meet who their guy is.
Yeah.
I would, because look. A-Rod had a guy, hate to pick on A-Rod.
Yeah.
A-Rod had a guy, and that guy was giving him doctored stuff.
Right.
Right. You know,
that is the thing. Now, these guys are a lot more pampered and they've got a lot more power. Like the owners can't just say to him, no, I want you using my guy. He's going to say, screw you. I'm not coming to your team then. I'm going to use my own guy.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, yeah, you have to suggest that from a health standpoint, there's got to be somebody suggesting and guiding these people. Now, the guys who are making a lot of money, the players who are making a lot of money, they probably, you know, a lot of them have their own chef.
Yeah.
They have their own masseuse. They have, you know,
yeah.
And if they don't, they should. You know,
yeah.
I mean, look at LeBron James has his own everything,
yeah.
and he's generally in shape. Although obviously he's jumping up and down. He hurt his ankle one season,
right.
But he did everything he could. He has his own cryotherapy chamber.
Yeah, look at Tom Brady, all the stuff he does too, right? Same thing.
Yeah, yeah.
I know there's a great article. I'll send it to you. Grubauer, the goaltender for the Colorado Avalanche, and
yes.
he's openly talking about how his first couple of years in the league just didn't know about diet and nutrition and was eating all the wrong foods. And he didn't really even know how much more he could be energy wise, like how much of a higher level he could take his energy. And now that he's cleaned up his diet, he feels so much better. And again, it's not that he felt bad before. He just didn't know that he could feel this good.
And who did he break in with? Who did he start with?
Colorado. Yeah.
So that's Colorado's fault.
Yeah. But again, you can't be around these guys all the time. Right.
But you have team meeting right at the beginning of the season at tryouts. Let's say at camp, the first camp or something like that. They should have if I was involved in any way with any team, bring in a nutritionist, bring in your team nutritionist.
Yeah, so what they do is, so the Rangers, for example, they have a training facility for the Knicks and the Rangers.
Yeah, I've been there.
At that training facility, yeah, you've been there. Yeah, at that training facility, there's a cafeteria, all healthy foods, all the stuff.
That's fantastic.
Right. So the times that they are there in town, they can go in and have breakfast, lunch, and I guess even hang around for dinner if they wanted to.
Yep.
But the issue is then, especially with younger players, you go on the road or during the off season or when they're not at the rink, what are they eating, right? And again, you're 100% correct. They're going to tell you what you should be doing. But at 21, 22, 23 years old, do you always listen to what?
No, I didn't listen to anything. No, I didn't listen to anything. But I just feel that nowadays with the heightened awareness, I mean, back in the day, back in the 80s, let's say, you as an athlete, and I was always trying to be athletic, even when I was on tour. But there were people, when people talked about like kinesiology or something like that, Mike Marshall, who was the relief pitcher for the Dodgers back in the day, you would think they were quacks.
Yeah. Oh,
you know what I mean? You should shave lemon. You should freeze lemon in the freezer, then shave it in the morning and put it in boiling water. It's going to alkalize your pH. I would look at you like, what are you kidding me? I'm going to do a bag of blow. I'm tired. I'm gonna wake up. You know, I'm gonna see John Belushi. He's gonna give me a little something, and I'm gonna Bolivian marching powder, and off I go.
Bolivian marching powder.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. I mean, that was my energy drink. Unfortunately, you know. But and then people started to die. Look, steroids.
Hold on. Stop everything. Stop everything. Hold on. We have an update. Hold on. We have an update. Oh, hold on. We got the wrong one. Sorry. Sorry about that.
But I like the bulk up. Good.
Yeah. We are what we eat with our mind and our emotions. Oh, God Alicia, bless. That was a perfect length of a statement, and the sentiment behind it was incredible. Keep doing what you're doing. Don't listen to Rich Gaverty. That was fantastic. You're just an incredible human being. Let me just keep that up for a second. We are what we eat with our mouth, our mind, and our emotions. That's actually, though, all kidding aside, it is very prophetic. I mean, it's like
that'll be the title for this show. Okay, we'll use that as the show title.
We eat with our mouth, our mind, and our emotions. Oh. Alicia, just incredible. You are a fantastic human being. It's the way you're able to be concise, get to the point, change people's lives is what we're doing here. Well done, Alicia.
It was wonderful. All right. Thank you. Appreciate it.
We will wait. We've got about probably need another 10 minutes. Alicia will need at least one more nugget.
One more nugget
from you.
Aliciaism. Oh, that's too funny. So we are what we eat with our mouth, our mind, and whatever the other one was. Her emotions? Is that what she said? She's eating with her emotions. God bless. Yes. Okay. I don't know how you do that, but
the love is flowing here.
Oh my God. There you go. Look at her. She loves you.
I haven't even met Alicia yet. You know, I just feel the bond between her and I already.
That's special. She's going to do a dance for you. That'll be.
That's right.
We got Lorraine. Right, we got Lorraine. Her, what's Susan Brooks? Susan Brooks. Did she commit? Yeah, she
has. Yes.
She has, right?
I need to really. I need to vent a little bit here. Okay. Go. So went to a game last week, and before the game, they had a little over with the Moynihan train station.
Yeah,
where the
Moynihan.
tour bus-
Yeah, how did that go? I'm
Actually,
sorry.
beautiful.
Yeah.
They had a
Good.
nice. I didn't know they had a food court down there. It was really nice. But there's this nice young man wanted me to sign his puck form,
Okay.
and Susan Brooks is standing there, and instead of like cheering me on and say "Great job, great job," she goes TOM, like she's mocking me.
Oh, no, she's just trying to engage with you. People like women like to tease you. I sense.
You think that's what it is?
Yeah, they like you. That's how they think they can. Well, they can't come on authoritatively with you, like, Tom, this is what you should be doing in life, because that's really not going to win the Laidlaw sweepstakes, right? So they want to just goof around with you.
It is funny when somebody
You know
says
what
to me, Tom, here's what you need to do.
Yeah.
And right off the bat, I go, okay. My brain kind of just stops at that point. It's
Yeah,
like,
it must
okay,
shut us. Yeah.
I just, okay, I'm doing what I need to do with my life.
Yeah.
If I
I'm
wanted
doing-
to change my life, I would change my life.
I don't need your input. I have enough voices in my head. What are you kidding me? I have a whole board of directors inside. Well, Tom, tell us your thoughts.
Oh,
That'll take too long. Yeah. Imagine.
Oh,
Oh
I
my
know.
God. Let me give you the Cliff Notes.
I know. I'm going up to Northern Michigan to put on a presentation there. I'm trying
How
to
many
be
times are you going to tell me that? I know you're going to Northern Michigan
No,
on the
but-
6th. On the 6th, right? You're probably leaving the 3rd. You're on the 6th. The 7th, you do two things. Go ahead.
So-
Just make sure you get video.
But I'm
for
trying
God's
to be
sakes.
careful to, like I said, I want to make sure I'm leaving enough room for a question and answer session. And remember, these are college students at
Yeah.
night. So they're probably going to want to be, oh God, I don't want to be, I want to go to the bar or whatever. So I'm trying to be, give them enough information, but not like have it drag on so long that like I would have been like, oh God, shut up.
Well, you got to be engaging. You're engaging. You're
Yeah.
going to be engaging. You're
That's
going to
true.
get them. You're going to tell a little bit about yourself, which they probably know already, and then you're going to start giving your spiel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's simple as that. And then, yeah, you could even acknowledge, I really appreciate you being here, because I'm sure you all want to be at the bar having a couple of drinks or
I
whatever,
would have, I would have been,
sure.
I would have been at Andy's. Thursday
Yeah.
was that night at Andy's. Yeah.
Yeah. The reason why it's interesting is because I'm freaking over 60 years old. I'm still alive, and I could probably kick 99% of this freaking room's ass. So sit down, listen for a little while, ask a freaking question, and then stand up and give me a standing ovation at the end.
Yeah.
That's all. Very simple. There's
all
your
we need.
freaking night.
Oh, you're
Done.
perfect. And tell me how great I am. Tell me how
Yeah,
awesome you are.
exactly. Just
Yeah.
your applause will tell me.
Yes, totally.
I already know I am.
Yeah, come
That's
up to me when we say goodbye and say, "Oh, Mr. Laidlaw, you were fantastic. That was the best thing that ever happened to me."
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh my God.
Oh, you know what? Like when Alicia writes those things, seriously, it like lifts
Gets
me
you
up.
going, doesn't it? God bless you.
Lifts me up. Yeah.
God bless you. Hey, listen, everybody, please follow this guy on TikTok, for Christ's sakes. He's pouring his heart out. He has fantastic TikToks. And once you follow him and like his TikTok and leave a comment, share it with all your friends. It's so simple to do. And if you're not on TikTok, then Instagram. Once again, Instagram. He's got his own. Yeah. Facebook, all they could do is follow you. They can't be your friend because you have 5,000 friends.
Right.
Okay. So big shot. But Instagram, please. All his music is not even copyrighted. He's using all original music. I mean, the stuff he's doing is incredible.
Thanks to Rich Gabberty. They use this app called Splice. Oh, I love that. I love doing those videos.
Yeah, it's a good one.
I got to get the drone up and going. I should have had it up today. It was a beautiful morning to have the drone going, but
I look. You're coming into November, so this could be courting season for you, because now the heat up there doesn't count. The lack of air conditioning doesn't count, right? So I had the over.
So I can have a social life.
You're coming up to my over under now. This is November, so I feel good things are going to happen that way.
Oh.
The drone, I have bad news. The drone, I don't foresee until perhaps February, March.
Why do you say that?
Because Tom, a lot of stuff. Listen, you have gardeners to straighten out. You have freaking flower delivery guys to straighten out. You got your tire now. You got to straighten out. Right?
Traffic
A lot of
director.
stuff
Traffic director in town here too.
Traffic director. Yeah. You're going to be the school crossing guard.
Yeah.
That would be a funny commercial. That would be a funny video. You should just be the school crossing guard, bro. That's it. I
losing my
love it.
mind. Some guy tries to run the light or something like that. I'm losing my mind, banging, kicking tires.
That is the best. That is the
That
best.
would be pretty funny.
You got dogs barking. You got dogs
Oh,
barking on your show. You got little kids barking, making noise on somebody else's show that you had with somebody. I forgot. I was like,
Kevin's got his kids in the back.
I heard kids in the background. I go, wow, the dogs are getting educated. I thought they were on near your house. I figured the dogs are talking.
So, one quick little story. So, Pepper's father
Oh, God.
tried to engage with me the other day. I think he was trying to be antagonistic, just like Dory.
No way.
Because we don't talk to each other at all. There's nothing. We just don't know each other. So he's out there with Pepper, tied up outside in public area where it's not supposed to be tied up, but we won't talk about that. And he goes, "Hi, Tom." Like we never talked to each other. He was trying to antagonize me.
No, he's trying to say hello, for Christ's sakes. He probably now at this point, somebody has turned him on to the show and he realizes his dog is a star. So,
Pepper.
oh my God. Anything else? But so the condo complex, is there a lease is it coming up? Are we moving? What are we doing? I'll fly up and
lease has
help
just
you.
been re-signed about 2 months ago. Re-signed the lease. No, we're here for life.
Oh,
I'll die here.
Stop.
No, but I mean, I didn't say I was going to die tomorrow, but I'm
Right.
staying here. Yeah,
You're going to live there 20 years.
yeah, totally. See, the thing you mentioned it before there too. And
Well, I'm selling you short there, by the way. I'm sorry, 30 years.
See, I'm not really thinking about a number. I know
neither.
you're the same way. It's how you live your life until the point that you die. Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I feel that we will be resourceful no matter what the hell happens. You know what I'm saying? But I'm taking it a day at a time. If you take it a day at a time, guess what? I think it's going to last longer. If you start thinking about whatever 10-year plan, a 20-year plan, a 30-year plan, I'm planning on today. I still haven't finished today.
And here's a sign too. Like, I could sit here and say, I could talk about the negativity that Dory tried to impose on me with like her antagonistic attitude towards me, or I could talk about Alicia and how she lifted up. So I'm going to choose to take Alicia's side and say
now we're pitting our viewers against each other. That's awesome. We're pitting our viewers and friends against each other. Nice.
Two contrasting views. I mean, listen,
Oh my
Dory,
God.
Dory basically attacked me.
But what about Ira and Bill? Like if you have Ira and Bill, right? Those are
right.
You know, now they're showing up, and then Susan with it helping you spell your name.
Yeah, like Susan. She's a dichotomy. Is that the right word?
Dichotomy.
Like in herself.
Dichotomy. Go ahead, keep going.
Right. She's like in herself. Like one side is very informative, very helpful, very friendly, and the other side just like digging in, like the knife in the back. And
but she's all of those things when she's on social media, right? And then when you meet her in person, well, you've met her, I'm sure, a number of times in person.
Same thing.
Right?
She's two different people.
Right. Well, in person, because she is excited to be around you, as a friend.
But then there's the digging, like the TOM.
Yeah, she's trying to be funny.
Here's another fine human being here as well.
Beautiful.
Cielo. Cielo's from Vancouver. Fantastic human being.
Oh, Vancouver. Beautiful.
Yes. Her and Chris Phillips. Ryan Phillips. Sorry, but that's terrible.
Ryan Phillips. Redemption. That's Redemption, right?
Came in from Vancouver. We had a great time. She's a very intelligent woman. She's gone through some stuff with herself and like basically self-healing. So
welcome.
Incredible. Yep.
Yeah. We have a nice way of closing, right? I think we've all gone through stuff. That's what's beautiful about it. So you're going to go to Guatemala with her. Is that it?
Yes. And Ryan, yes. That has not been finalized yet, but that is the plan.
That's okay. I'm busy that weekend. I know they send me a message. And
told me I had to rearrange your sock drawer.
Yeah, the spam. The spam.
Dory means well. Send her some love.
Oh, here we go. Here's the United Nations. The United Nations.
Alicia, if it wasn't,
I don't think she fared well today, Dory. Dory did not fare well.
Well, but I just don't get where the antagonistic mentality came from. I thought
she grew up in Staten Island, Tommy. She grew up in Staten Island. Look at all the fans. The Ranger fans in Staten Island. They're angry.
Yes.
Right? They're angry there.
All right. So for you, Alicia, I will show her some love. Dory, I accept your apology. I know deep down inside you're apologetic for all the nasty things you did to me today. Trying to stir the pot.
Let's go back to Vancouver. I miss Vancouver. Vancouver, when I was on tour, I will say this, and Vancouver has the most strip clubs of any city on tour. Did you know that?
Yes, I'm aware.
You are aware of that, right?
You understand I played the NHL for 11 years, so yeah.
That's my whole point. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure you could relate to that, right? And more importantly, Vancouver, I believe, is next to Coquitlam, British Columbia.
The home of
Neil Clark, but also Melnick, right?
Oh, is Neil from? Yeah. I didn't know that.
About, yeah. Well, you were his agent. Oh. That's why he's not playing in the NHL anymore, huh? You didn't even know where he came from.
He moved. I think he moved. I didn't.
He moved my ass. He went and played. He played juniors somewhere. I forgot where he played juniors. He played juniors with the guy who played Mike Murphy in Lone Survivor.
Right. Cielo, you mean no? We're not going to.
Oh, not anymore. So, do us a favor, please. You could be our information when it comes to that. Who has the most strip clubs per capita now? In case that way I
are we talking just Canada, or are you talking anywhere?
No,
North America?
This was like North America.
Is it Tampa?
Oh, it might be. I don't know.
Oh, hold on.
We got an answer. No more at all.
No, they still have it, but they're not the king of.
Oh, what? But no. She said no more strip clubs. in
Oh,
Vancouver. But they
no.
they had gentlemen entertainment, but they shouldn't just be gentlemen's entertainment. I mean,
Yeah.
since we're all inclusive here in our
Totally,
society,
yeah. Yeah.
anybody can go.
Yeah. Totally. So my rookie year
Oh
in the league,
God.
Dave Silk played on the
Yeah.
1980 Olympic team. We were roommates
Yes.
together.
Yeah.
There was a place that we were told in Vancouver called Number 5 Orange.
Oh God.
And we decided on a rainy afternoon that we were going to, after practice, we were going to walk and find this place.
Brilliant.
And didn't know where we were going, didn't bother to look at a map or anything like that. So we walked for hours, soaked and wet, got into the place. There was no seats. There was 2 seats. There was actually one empty seat. There was an older gentleman falling asleep in his chair. So we picked him up and moved him
That's awesome.
and sat down. Silky ordered a bowl of chili from Number 5 Orange, ended up getting food poisoning. Couldn't play the next day.
Oh my God. Imagine that.
Oh,
And the funny thing is, the funny thing is I never went to a strip club in Vancouver, but that's the thing that they tell you, the promoter, that
Oh.
has the most in the world. And so obviously there was backstage, there were a number of the employees there
Right.
in Vancouver.
Cielo's friend owns Number 5 Orange. That's classic.
Oh my God. That's hilarious.
Cielo she's only like very knowledgeable with how your mind works and yoga, meditation, and hypnosis and everything. So learned a lot from her. She's fantastic.
Beautiful.
So,
Beautiful.
and
Yeah.
she also knows people that own strip joints. So
Well, but that's
she's pretty
well-rounded.
Yeah,
She's well-rounded.
Well-rounded. Yes. Yeah.
I mean, that is spectacular. The other thing on tour, the other bit of wisdom and knowledge, in case we're ever on like one of those Trivia Pursuit games show, Milwaukee, Wisconsin has the most church steeples in the
Really?
United States. Yeah, I don't know why, but that's another thing that one of the promoters told me. They used to give me like, what they were famous for or whatever. Milwaukee has the most church steeples. And sure enough, when you get directions there, they give you directions using church steeples.
Huh. Do you know where Budweiser beer,
Anheuser-Busch, Budweiser beer.
where it was invented?
I'm going to say St. Louis, but I could be wrong. Go ahead.
Česká Budějovice in the Czech Republic.
No way. Wow.
When I was trying out for the Canadian Olympic team, again, one part I tried out for the Canadian Olympic team.
Yep. Yes. The trainer. You put the trainers. That didn't work out.
So half the group that was still around, they traveled around at Christmas in North America, and the other half of the group that I was on, we went over to Europe and traveled around. And one of the places we went into Czechoslovakia, went all these little towns, they're all the same. Get the square in the middle. They sell their
very cool. Yeah.
Right, yeah. And there's no toilets. They just had a hole in the floor and 2 feet. So you knew where to put your feet.
And handles or something like that. Yeah.
I don't know if there's handles. And the beer they sold is always warm, so we would hang it out the window to get it cold.
Warm beer. I'm not into that. Yeah. God bless. Anyway, listen. So we're in overtime here.
Yes.
Diane's got stuff to do.
Oh, that's right. Sorry, Diane. I keep forgetting about Diane.
Yeah. You can't forget about Diane.
I'm sorry. We got Diane.
She talks so much. She never keeps quiet.
I know. We got Diane. We
She's
got
talking
Cielo,
right now.
We got Diane, Cielo, Alicia. That woman went by the name of something Dory. Dory. That's what it is.
Dory. Yeah, Dory. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Poor Diane.
Yeah. All right, Diane. Sorry. All right, we got to run. Again, 988 hotline. Everybody be aware of that. Rich, you can say your goodbyes.
Yes. Tom, thank you for everything. I enjoyed myself thoroughly, and same time next week.
I think that was educational today for anybody.
Geez, I hope so, because I learned so much. Have a great day.
Like you said, I got a boardroom in my head.
Oh, you do? Absolutely.
All right, buddy. See you next week.
All right, Bob. Bye.